companions and some of the scholars like Al-Tabari, they mentioned it, and Bukhari mentions it in his book, but it's under the heading Isra'iliyat. So the stories of the people of the children of Israel. And these stories that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you can talk about the stories of the scribes or the children of Israel, meaning the people of the book, stories that come from the Bible and the Torah and the old books, so long as they don't oppose your teachings of Islam or call you to sin. But don't say that, don't confirm them and don't deny them. So there are things in the Israelite traditions which don't go against Islam. They're stories which with good morals, but the Prophet ﷺ said you can't confirm them or deny them. We're not sure if they really happened. But this particular story about Barsisa is mentioned because the meaning agrees with Islam. So the story goes like this: that there was a worshipper, we'll just call him a worshipper, and he was very respected in the town. He used to worship inside, he was like a monk, and everybody respected him, but he had little knowledge, lots of worship, and he was a monk that did not associate with any bad things, and he was just all pure and everything, and everybody respected him in the town. And there were these four brothers. These four brothers had to go somewhere on a journey, but they had a sister who was sick, and they needed somebody to look after her. They had no other family. So they said, why don't you go to Barsisa? He will look after her. So Barsisa agreed to look after their sister, cutting the story short, and he started to take her food and medicine. So one day the shaitan said to Barsisa, you know, you've never laid eyes on that girl, that woman, if you were just look and make sure that she's okay. So then he looked at her once, and then he said, okay, well, why don't you talk to her? She's probably lonely, her brothers have been away for such a long time. Why don't you talk to her and keep her company? He said, all right, so he started keeping her. Up to this point, there's no haram, right? But the shaitan has a trick, right? And Barsisa didn't realize what's actually happening. So he kept on talking, and from talking, he said, why don't you go inside and spend some time with her and keep her company? Her brothers have taken a little while, you know, just make sure she could die in the house and you wouldn't know. So he justified it to look like he's doing a really good thing. So he started to meeting and sitting around, and then from there he got impressed and he started to let his hair down a little bit, and testosterone levels went up a little bit and all that stuff. And then he started to get closer and closer and closer. In the end, you all know, fill in the gaps. And then he ended up committing zina, fornication with her. And from her they came, the brothers had taken more than a year off. So she became pregnant and gave birth to a baby. And so the shaitan came to him and said, the brothers are going to come back and they're going to kill you, so you better do something about it. So what should I do? What should I do? Now in the past, the Prophet ﷺ said that in the past, sometimes they used to see the shaitan, they used to see the jinns. Now we don't see them, but they used to see them, and there are many evidences in the Sunnah that some people have seen them in the past, such as the one with Abu Hurairah. It's a long story. And he said to him, you should kill her and kill her baby and bury them together and say she died from the disease. When the brothers came along, they asked, and he said she died because she was sick. And what happened is that all four of them, the shaitan came in their dreams and told them, this Barsisa guy is lying to you. He went and he did this and he did that, and he buried her at such a place. And you can see a little bit of her cloth around, just sticking outside the grave. That's what the shaitan said. So one of them woke up and he says, this is what I saw, a weird dream. And the other three, they said, you're right, we saw the same dream, let's go and check. And truly they found their sister buried with her baby. So they went to Barsisa and took him to the authorities, and they sentenced him to death. So when they came to kill him, the shaitan came up to him and he goes, look at you, a righteous man, you've done all this stuff, you know, what are people going to say, what kind of a legacy have you left behind? He made him feel guilty. The shaitan makes you feel guilty. And he said, what should I do? And the shaitan said to him, well, I'm the one who got you into this mess, I'm the only one who can get you out of this mess. He said, what do you want me to do? He said, just do one thing and I'll get you out. He says, what do you want me to do? He said, just make a sajda to me, just prostrate to me, you know, and make me, you know, godly. So he said, okay. He prayed and made a sajda to him. He says, you're my God. And then he got hanged, and the shaitan immediately said, oh, this is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted you to become a disbeliever into hellfire forever. Inni bari'um mink, inni akhafu Allah rabbal alameen. I am innocent from you. I fear Allah, the Lord of mankind. And this ayah is actually in the Quran.